All right, we're going to solve some equations or some problems here using proportions. Now, I love proportions in this case, and that's because they all can be set up with the same basic idea. So this ratio here, you see the P over 100, P stands for percent. So anytime you're given a percent, so if I give you like 12%, that translates to be 12 over 100. Or if I would give you 8%, that would translate to be 8 over 100. So without even doing any real thinking, you can have half of your proportion set up just by putting the percent over 100. Now the other side, we're talking about part to whole. And generally the part is talked about with the word is, and the whole is of. So when you're looking at these problems, you can get those, if you see those keywords, that helps. Otherwise, you kind of want to think part to whole. All right, let's look at a couple of these. So, what amount is 20% of 60? Now, I always start with the percent because I know that percent always goes over 100. Always. And then I look at the keywords. What amount is of 160? And remember, we want is over of. So, what amount is of 160? Now, I can cross multiply. 100x equals 3200, and when we divide we get 32. 72 is 40% of what number? 40%. Percent always goes over 100. And then look, 72 is, again remember, is over of. So 72 is on top of what number? So of on the bottom. We cross multiply. 40x equals 7,200. We divide both sides by 40, and x gives us 180. 60 is what percentage of 200? Now in this case, it says what percentage. So if I don't know my percent, it's x over 100. 60 is, once again, we're talking about is over of. So 60 over 200. I cross multiply and divide. X is 30%. And you'll notice on this one, in proportions, once you solve, if you're looking for a percent, you have found the percent. Because 30 over 100 is the same as 0.3, which is the same as 30%. So because those are all equivalent, we don't have to do anything else. We just solve it, and we have our percent. It might be beneficial if you kind of stop, try to do this problem, and then come back and watch the answer. So 36 is 40% of what number? Percent over 100. Is 36 of what number? Is over of. So 36 is on top, of on the bottom. We cross multiply. X is 90. Same thing. Try to do these on your own before you watch the description. 527 is what percentage of 850? Well, what percent gives me x over 100? Is of. We always want is over of. So 527 over 850. Cross multiply. X is 62%. And make sure you have your percent sign because, again, remember, you're looking for a percentage here. Now we get to some story problems. 15% of Americans are left-handed, and there are 314 million Americans. How many Americans are left-handed? Okay, I love the proportions with these because if I have the percent, that's good. Now with these, I tend to think part to whole because I don't see an is and of, that kind of thing. So when I'm given here, there are 314 million Americans. If 314 million Americans, is that all or just part? Nope, that's all of them. So the 314 is going to go on the bottom, and I'm trying to find the top. Now notice the way I wrote this. My 314 is in millions. So when I cross multiply and I solve, I end up with 47.1, which is in million. If you want to write that out into a whole number, million again means 6, so move your decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places, and there you are in standard form. So you can either use words or standard form for that particular problem. And the last one. According to the American Red Cross, 7% of the population has blood type O negative. If there are about 500,000 people in Indiana who have blood type O negative, estimate the population. Now, I want to set this problem up two ways. So the first one, percent over 100, 500,000. Right, 500,000 have blood type O negative. That's part of the population. We're trying to estimate the entire population. So when I did this, my answer has to be in million. Now, you could also say, okay, 7%, 500,000 is 500,000. So you can see how it's fine either way. If you do the left, when you solve this, you end up with 7.14 million. You could take that decimal out further, and on this side, you get 7,142,857. I mean, and we could have taken this decimal out farther on the left. Either way, you get the same answer. It just all is a matter of how do you want to set it up. How does your brain see 500,000?